But welcome again to the 4th annual Women That Blue. That's really what this program is about your seat at the table. We're going to have our panel discussion. So we invited back Mimi Gonzalez. So Mimi is a comedian. She's a writer. And she's an awesome facilitator.
How does one best prepare themselves for the next step in their career?
You have to really think about what you're looking for in taking on a new role. What makes you happy? Why are you doing what you're doing? What are the values you're trying to embrace?
And the reality of where we are today in terms of diversity of the United States and where we're going and the diversity of the world economy, if you have one particular point of view and you think that's it, I wish you well, because it ain't gonna work. And so those that have cross cultures, it doesn't matter if you're talking about gender, race, economic class, or literally national borders, if you've already done that in your life, you're actually much better suited for where the world is going.
When you network, right, oftentimes like at this event per se, you might meet someone, but you're having a really superficial conversation. Where those relationships really develop is after that, right? It's the follow-up, it's the meeting, it's inviting someone to an event and, you know, ultimately into your home, right? And developing these really strong bonds that then help you push that person up, help advance them.
I was young, I was only 23, 24. And so I remember going out there, I was taking the golfing lessons, I was doing the driving range, and I thought, oh my God, 4 hours of this? By the way, I don't play golf, I don't drink alcohol. There's a lot of reasons I never should have been an executive. Honestly, to be really frank, somehow found my way in there with all the guys. And yes, there are things to think about so you can be part of the table, but oh my gosh, if you hate it, please don't do it.
If you're at the table and you have an idea, bring it up. At every meeting, you should at least say 2 things at every meeting, because that way you're engaged and you're focusing on what other people are saying. Really think about what is the work that you're doing and how can you contribute. A lot of people have a lot of great ideas, but they're too scared to say anything. So it's really important that you have your voice.
There's things that you sacrifice. To me, there really is no such thing as balance. You can try to, achieve it, but it's not something you get to and then you're there. I think it's something you're juggling all the time, and what I find is you just have to have a lot of supports around you.
I think one of the things that's really important is managing expectations for your children and for yourself. So if you're late or you miss that game, don't beat yourself up. Oh my gosh, I was crying once. I missed a game and my daughter was miserable. Mom, you missed it. It was the best game ever. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. And then a friend of mine said, Jane, you're only human. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. So don't beat yourself up. Set your expectations to yourself and to your family and to your work.
Thank you, panelists, and thank you, Gwen, for this opportunity.
The next thing that I want to do is to celebrate some of the successes of our associates since we met last year in 2014.
And then the Disparities Leadership Program, sponsored by Massachusetts General Hospital.
I am a 35-year veteran of Blue Cross Blue Shield of Massachusetts.
Infuse your life with action. Don't wait for it to happen. Make it happen.
Take risks and get out of your comfort zone.
The beauty of taking risks and being uncomfortable. When you're uncomfortable, you're challenged. And when you're challenged, regardless of the outcome, you'll always learn and grow from it. Thanks, everyone.
You do know in your heart what is important to you, what matters to you in your life. You know what unfulfilled dreams you have. And you are the one in the driver's seat. Be present in your life and remember what matters to you and give yourself to your work, but also remember that at the end of the day, probably what matters to you is your relationships and the people, and that's what makes the quality of your life. So don't lose sight of that in all that you do to prepare for where you'll be and what you want to be doing tomorrow.
Let's start with just circling our neck.
When you see me passing, it ought to make you proud. I say, it's in the click of my heels, the bend of my hair, the palm of my hand, the need of my care. 'Cause I'm a woman, phenomenal woman. That's me, Maya Angelou.